lived and learned life through curves. There was joy.
Alan Jackson, the uncrowned king of country music, has long stood firm as a symbol of sincerity and strength.
It's like an old-fashioned storybook of rhyme, living on love.
Beneath the bright spotlight and calm smile, his family has quietly faced storms far harsher than most people ever realized. Recently, Maddie Denise Allen's eldest daughter decided to step into the spotlight and courageously reveal a shocking secret that the public had long suspected. The revelation not only stunned fans, but also completely changed the way many people view the life and career of this legendary figure. Let us explore the dramatic truth behind these revelations. In September 2018, a major tragedy suddenly struck the Alan Jackson family forever, changing the peaceful life they had enjoyed behind the stage. At the time, Ben Seligman, a talented assistant district attorney in Davidson County, Nashville, and the husband of Maddie Denise for less than a year, was enjoying a family vacation at a marina in Florida. An unexpected fall on a windswept dock caused a devastating traumatic brain injury.
Less than a year after they got married, they were on vacation in Florida when Ben slipped and fell on a wet dock, hitting his head on the concrete.
Although doctors fought tirelessly to save him, Ben passed away on September 12, 2018 at the age of 28, leaving unimaginable grief for his young wife and profound shock throughout the entire Jackson family. Faced with his daughter's heartbreaking loss, the legendary singer made a firm decision to cancel numerous major performances and postpone a packed schedule that had already been arranged. Throughout the period from 2018 to 2020, the country music star remained completely silent before the media, declining entertainment appearances and stepping away from interviews to devote his full attention to Maddie Denise and help her endure the darkest days of her life as a widow. No speculation or public drama appeared in the press aside from the family's official obituary, issued quietly and respectfully to honor the memory of their beloved son-in-law. After more than 3 years spent healing emotional wounds in private, Maddie Denise stepped forward in November 2021 when she published her first memoir, Lemons on Friday, Trusting God Through My Greatest Heartbreak.
Feel as seen and understood as I did, then man, it's gonna be worth it to me. So I started working on it, and by God's grace, it's coming out next month.
The book immediately became a major point of public interest and earned a place on the New York Times bestseller list. Through its deeply personal pages, Alan Jackson's eldest daughter openly revealed her emotional collapse, the darkness that settled over their household, and the way she confronted the emptiness left behind by the sudden loss of her beloved husband. The memoir also disclosed how her famous father, Alan Jackson, and her mother, Denise, stood beside her day and night, sharing her pain and tears while becoming her strongest source of support. The singer and his wife even personally wrote the foreword for the book, an act that served as a quiet public explanation for his unusual absence from major music stages during those years. Reflecting on that difficult period, the country music superstar wrote in the opening pages, "We walked through the valley of darkness together with all the love and steadfastness of a family." Maddie Denise's courage in sharing her private grief not only helped her find peace, but also lifted the veil on questions that fans had carried for years. Even so, the tragedy of 2018 was only the opening chapter in a series of truths gradually emerging behind the curtain of this influential family. As the tears for the departed slowly began to fade, another crisis quietly arrived, directly testing the strength and unity of the family members. Answers to long-standing questions. The physical decline that audiences had increasingly noticed in Alan Jackson's stage appearances was finally explained in September 2021. During a live appearance on The Today Show, the legendary singer publicly confirmed that he was living with Charcot-Marie Tooth disease. This inherited neurological disorder had been passed down from his father. The condition directly affects the nerves controlling the muscles, creating serious balance issues and making movement increasingly difficult whenever the country music icon performs. Faced with their father's health challenges, the three Jackson daughters began actively preparing plans to preserve and manage the family legacy. In February 2023, the superstar appeared as a special guest on the podcast She's in the Glow, hosted by Maddie Denise, where he discussed the importance of family bonds. By January 2025, the generational transition had become even more apparent when Maddie officially assumed the role of master blender for her father's Silver Belly whiskey brand. The position placed her in a senior leadership role with direct responsibility for overseeing product quality and development. Alongside these professional milestones, the household of the legendary singer continued receiving joyful news from the next generation. In December 2025, a family photograph deeply moved fans when it confirmed that all three daughters, Maddie Alexandra Jane and Danny Grace, were expecting children at the same time. Those cherished milestones quickly continued into the following year. In February 2026, Maddie Denise welcomed a daughter, Charlotte Charlie Ann Smith, with her husband, Connor Smith. 2 months later, on April 8, 2026, Alexandra Jane gave birth to a daughter named Parker Ann Bradshaw, surrounded by the love and celebration of the family. As grandchildren entered the world one by one, Alan Jackson's decades-long musical journey approached a historic crossroads. In May 2026, the artist officially announced the final full concert of his touring career, Last Call One More for the Road. The finale, scheduled for June 27, 2026 at Nissan Stadium in Nashville. The devoted family firmly pledged that the entirety of the net proceeds generated from ticket sales for this historic final stadium event would be channeled directly into advanced medical research initiatives and targeted therapeutic development efforts focused on eradicating Charcot-Marie-Tooth disease. This profound willingness of his three daughters to courageously step forward and completely shoulder the multifaceted responsibilities of managing a massive country music empire, especially as their legendary father gradually moved into the background, due to physical limitations, beautifully demonstrated the extraordinary resilience and boundless, unconditional love that deeply define this tight-knit family. By taking active control of his commercial businesses and utilizing this massive farewell performance as a vehicle for global neurological disease awareness, the younger generation successfully transformed a looming personal hardship into a powerful legacy of hope and collective action for thousands of affected families worldwide. Audiences witnessed a seamless continuation into the next generation, where both musical and business legacies are preserved through unity and shared purpose. To fully understand the strong foundation that helped them overcome such profound challenges, the public must turn back the pages of history and revisit the turbulent golden years of the past. Peak glory. The unity and resilience displayed by the next generation in protecting a remarkable family legacy were shaped by the turbulent years endured by the generation before them. Looking back at his golden era, Alan Jackson established an unprecedented chapter in American popular music, beginning with the release of his debut album, Here in the Real World. The album's tremendous commercial success and enthusiastic praise from critics quickly paved the way for the singer to join the Grand Ole Opry, one of the highest honors and greatest dreams for any country music artist of the era. Amid the rapid and extraordinary milestones of his celebrated career, the Georgia native's household also welcomed the births of his three daughters, Maddie Denise, Alexandra Jane, and Danny Grace. Even so, the relentless touring schedule that stretched from one year to the next, combined with the crushing pressure of sudden fame, quietly wore away at what appeared to be a perfect marriage. The most shocking personal crisis erupted when Alan Jackson and his longtime wife, Denise, officially announced their separation, leaving fans around the world stunned. The tensions that had simmered beneath the surface ultimately reached a breaking point. The American music icon struggled to remain faithful, falling into temptations encountered during long tours away from home, while also finding it difficult to cope with the overwhelming pressure that accompanied enormous success. After a lengthy period apart filled with painful challenges, the couple chose to enter marriage counseling together, working to find common ground, save their family, and rebuild their fractured relationship. 10 years after that marital crisis, which once seemed impossible to overcome, the painful details were finally revealed publicly by those who had lived through them. Denise published her memoir, It's All About Him, Finding the Love of My Life, openly sharing the truth about their difficult separation and her husband's infidelity. The book was never intended as criticism, bitterness, or an attempt to damage the reputation of a star. Instead, it focused on the genuine journey of forgiveness, overcoming deep emotional wounds through faith and through Alan Jackson's sincere efforts to correct his mistakes. The honesty and courage shown by both husband and wife in confronting their past earned widespread respect and sympathy, helping the music icon reaffirm the enduring value of forgiveness and family. While peace and stability gradually returned to their home, Alan Jackson's career continued reaching historic milestones that became deeply embedded in the American public consciousness. During the Country Music Association Awards, he delivered a moving performance of "Where Were You When the World Stopped Turning?" Written in the aftermath of the September 11th attacks, the song provided comfort and healing to a nation struggling through grief. It also strengthened Alan Jackson's position as one of America's most influential cultural voices, both artistically and emotionally. Through understanding patience and extraordinary forgiveness, Alan and Denise successfully protected a stable and loving environment in which their daughters could grow and thrive. Even as emotional storms and lingering doubts finally began to fade, fate presented the family with another set of harsh challenges, this time involving physical health. During the following decade, life-changing events slowly emerged, forcing the powerful figure of country music to prepare mentally for a quiet retreat from the bright lights of the stage. A decade of challenges. Just as the family regained balance after earlier struggles, the Jackson household faced another severe test involving the well-being of its members. In 2010, Denise Jackson, Alan's lifelong partner since their youth, received a diagnosis of advanced colorectal cancer. Confronted with this life-threatening situation, the country music superstar immediately restructured his professional schedule, reducing most of his performances so he could remain by his wife's side throughout her lengthy treatment process until doctors finally declared her cancer-free. As the storm surrounding Denise's illness began to calm, another difficult development arrived for Alan Jackson personally in 2011. During a comprehensive medical examination, doctors officially diagnosed him with Charcot-Marie-Tooth disease, a hereditary neurological disorder. Rather than publicly revealing the diagnosis and seeking sympathy, the legendary singer chose to keep the condition entirely private for a decade in order to protect his family's peace and continue his musical career as normally as possible. Although the diagnosis remained hidden, the disease's effects gradually became visible during major performances between 2012 and 2016. Concertgoers could easily notice that the legendary artist no longer moved with the same ease as before. His steps appeared less steady, and he increasingly relied on a microphone stand for support while performing. During this period, American media outlets began circulating speculation about his declining health. Even so, every member of the Jackson family maintained silence and refused to issue public responses or explanations. Throughout those years of quietly battling illness and public scrutiny, family unity became an invaluable source of strength for Alan Jackson. That profound connection was powerfully demonstrated through a deeply emotional tribute shared by his second daughter, Alexandra Jane, during the course of 2017. In a moving statement posted on social media, she candidly expressed the reality of their family dynamic, stating directly that while the world views him as an undisputed music icon, to his children he remains just a devoted parent. This sincere and public declaration did an immense amount of work to instantly silence the persistent tabloid rumors of family division and internal estrangement that had occasionally circulated in the media. More importantly, it illuminated the unwavering structural support and absolute loyalty that all three daughters actively maintained for their father, long before the devastating events of 2018 completely upended their lives. The daughters grew up witnessing the immense pressure of their father's career, and their collective understanding of his private struggles became a crucial sanctuary for the singer. This quiet devotion within the household transformed into a solid emotional foundation, one that directly helped the country music icon find the inner courage required to openly confront the progressive physical realities of his genetic condition. Instead of retreating from the public eye in shame or despair, the legendary artist was able to maintain his dignity on stage, knowing his family stood behind him without judgment. The public presentation of their family unity showed a stark contrast to the typical chaotic narratives of country music stardom. Alexandra Jane's words served as a protective shield for her father's public image and a comforting reassurance for his fan base. This deep-seated familial loyalty effectively ensured that the artist could navigate the gradual decline of his mobility with a sense of peace sustained by the knowledge that his ultimate legacy was safely guarded by the very people he had raised. Those heartfelt words mark the end of a decade filled with physical and emotional trials for the entire family. To understand why Alan Jackson possessed such determination and such deep family roots throughout every storm in his life, the public must travel back to his remarkably humble beginnings. The journey to Nashville, the determination that carried Alan Jackson through the most difficult chapters of his life, was built upon an exceptionally modest foundation. Looking back to the beginning, the legendary singer was born on October 17, 1958 in the small town of Newnan, Georgia. His childhood unfolded in a cramped and modest environment, with the family living together inside a small home converted from an old tool shed that had belonged to his grandfather. It was in Georgia that the young Alan met and fell in love with Denise Jackson while they were still high school students. The couple married in 1979 at the age of 21 with little money and no clear roadmap for the future. To support their young household, Alan Jackson worked numerous physically demanding jobs, including operating a forklift and working as a cashier at a used car dealership. Recognizing her husband's deep passion for music, Denise encouraged a life-changing decision that led them to pack their belongings and move to Nashville in 1985. To support himself in the new city, Alan found work in the mailroom of the Nashville network. A life-changing opportunity arrived unexpectedly when Denise, who was working as a flight attendant, happened to meet legendary entertainer Glen Campbell at Nashville Airport. She courageously handed him a demo tape recorded by her husband. Impressed by the sincerity and strength of Alan Jackson's voice, Glen Campbell personally reached out and helped secure a music publishing agreement through his company. That timely support opened the door to a new future and ultimately led to Alan Jackson becoming the first artist signed to the newly established Arista Nashville label in 1989. That historic moment not only ended years of financial struggle for the young couple, but also laid the first stone in the foundation of an extraordinary musical legacy. The journey from an old converted shed in rural Georgia to the center of the Nashville music world remains one of the clearest examples of talent combined with perseverance. His humble roots and difficult early years shaped a strong character that allowed him to remain grounded, even at the height of fame. The values of love, family, and faith that were formed during those modest beginnings followed the superstar throughout his career and became a priceless inheritance passed on to future generations. Alan Jackson's life story, from a small shed in Georgia to the emotional preparation for his final Nashville concert, stands as a powerful testament to the strength of family and love. Every milestone achieved on those grand stages reflected the lessons of perseverance learned in his youth, proving that true wealth lies in the unbreakable bonds shared with the people who matter most. The glittering awards and stadium cheers filled his professional life with immense pride. But the quiet moments at home with his wife and 3 daughters provided the genuine anchor that kept him grounded through decades of shifting fame. As the physical challenges of his neurological condition became more pronounced, the profound depth of this familial foundation revealed itself to the entire world. His daughter stepped into the light to shield their father, taking over business responsibilities and speaking openly about the enduring strength he instilled in them from their earliest days. This beautiful transition from being protected by a legendary father to becoming his fiercest protector showed the true fruits of his labor as a parent. The love he poured into his household during the early difficult years of his career returned to him multifold when he needed it most, surrounding him with a fortress of support and devotion. The upcoming final performance in Nashville represents far more than the conclusion of an iconic touring career. It symbolizes the ultimate celebration of a life lived with complete authenticity. Generations of fans will gather to sing along to the anthems that define their own lives, while his family stands proudly by his side to witness the closing of a magnificent chapter. The physical strain of the disease may alter his movements, but the spirit of his music remains untouched, carried forward by the children and grandchildren who carry his blood and his values. This enduring lineage ensures that while the stage lights will eventually dim, the harmony of the Jackson family will continue to resonate for many years to come. The revelations shared by his daughters were never allowed scandal. They became a confirmation of a lasting legacy preserved through understanding, forgiveness, and perseverance across countless storms. What Alan Jackson's song has accompanied you through the years of your own life? Share your thoughts and favorite song in the comments below. If the story of this country music family brought you meaningful emotions, do not forget to like, share, and subscribe so you will not miss future inspiring journeys. Thank you for watching, and we will see you again in the next video.